Hi everyone. Just going to give it a couple minutes here for everyone to join the live stream. Hi there, I see some people coming in. Welcome. Oh wow, looks like we got some people in already. Hi there. So happy to have you joining us today. Hello everyone. Welcome to our 7th Facebook Live event, How to Refill Zero Waste Shopping, where we will be discussing the basics of how to prepare to shop at a refillery and what to do once you're there. Our guest speaker today is Melissa Matthews, and she is the co-owner of Great Lakes Refill Company. And she will be sharing some tips on how to start some zero waste habits and some simple steps to start your low waste journey. This presentation is being recorded, so you're more than welcome to watch it another time if you weren't able to make it tonight. My name is Kaylee Kraft, and I am a recent graduate from the University of Guelph. Here, I completed a major in child development, and I gained a strong passion for environmental sustainability. So it's a privilege to be able to present today on this topic alongside our guest speaker, Melissa, to take a closer look at what we can do in our own lives to be a little more mindful of our waste and our impacts. This stream is brought to you in part by Ecodemy. Ecodemy is the newest online environmental education platform for your family. You can learn, share, and grow with courses on eco tips from climate change to electronic waste. At the end of the presentation, stay tuned as I'll be sharing a link on where you can enter to win a $25 gift card to your local refill store and also get a 7-day trial of Ecodemy courses. We drew the name of the lucky winner for the $25 gift certificate from the Christmas craft webinar, and the lucky winner will be notified and receiving an email shortly. Great Lakes Refill Company is also a sponsor of this stream. They're Sarnia Lambton's first zero-waste grocery store and bulk refill bar, located at 404 Christina Street North in Sarnia, which we will be getting to learn a lot more about in today's webinar. So before we begin, I just would like to read Lambton County's newly adopted Acknowledgement of Ancestral Land Statement. We acknowledge that the land on which we are gathered today is part of the ancestral land of the Chippewa, Odawa, and Potawatomi people, referred to collectively as the Anishinaabe. It is through the connection of the Anishinaabe with the spirit of the land, water, and air that we recognize their unique cultures, traditions, and values. Together as treaty people, we have a shared responsibility to act with respect for the environment that sustains all life, protecting the future for those generations to come. So now we can get into the presentation here, and I have kind of an interesting fact to kind of start us off. On average, each person in the province of Ontario produces more than 850 kilograms of waste every year. I know this kind of just sounds like a big number, but to put that into perspective a little bit, this is about the same weight as the average adult giraffe. And for the past 10 years, we've only recycled about 25% of our waste, and the situation has not improved. So this means that over 8 million tons of waste is sent to our landfills each year. This is a quote by Glenn Murray, the Minister of the Environment and Climate Change. So this kind of shows that recycling is not the end-all answer. We must try to limit our waste in the first place. So where can we start? Refill and zero waste shopping is an extremely effective way to reduce your plastic footprint. And the idea is that rather than buying items in individual plastic packaging, you take your own container and fill that up with the goods that you want. So now we can introduce our special guest, Melissa Matthews, the co-owner of Great Lakes Refill Company, who is going to show us the basics of how to refill at a refillery, as well as help answer your questions about zero waste shops, what you should expect, and what you need to know before you go. So here she is. Welcome, Melissa.
Hi, Kaylee.
So happy to have you joining us today. I see you're in the store right now. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and the mission behind Great Lakes Refill Company?
Yeah, so my name's Melissa Matthews, as Kaylee has said. My sister Lisa and I opened Great Lakes Refill Company about 3.5 years ago. We started with a small little booth in the downtown market where we offered refills for things like detergent and shampoos and conditioners and some small like sustainable items. And then 2 years ago, or a little over 2 years ago, we opened the store that I'm in currently, where we now offer close to 1,000 different products, ranging from groceries to all of your household supplies, personal care supplies, and sustainable goods as well. So yeah, we've been doing this for about 3 years now. Excuse me. Lisa and I opened the store with a passion for helping the community trying to reduce their waste. So we looked sort of into our lives and realized that there wasn't really any resources in the area that we could utilize to start lowering our impact. So we figured, why not try and open one ourselves? And here we are 3 years later and still going strong.
Awesome. Well, it's incredible to see that your dream and your vision has clearly come to life. Just to kind of kick things off, what advice do you have for someone that wants to begin reducing waste?
Yeah, so I guess people often come into the store with that same question. And usually what I tell people is to not be put off by the term zero waste. I feel like a lot of people sort of hear that and think, oh, that's totally unattainable. I can't do that, so I'm not going to bother trying. So I guess our biggest piece of advice for people is to not have that mindset, that every little thing that you can do to make changes in your household and your life can make a huge impact. So just be okay with starting small, and even starting with just like one thing at a time can really have a huge impact. So don't be scared off by sort of things that you see sometimes on social media where people, have their year's worth of waste in a small mason jar. That really generally for most people is unattainable. And so going into that idea kind of sets you up for failure. So just going in with an open mind and just doing one little thing at a time, and sort of those things kind of pile on top of each other. And lead you into making huge impacts. And looking back, you'll see how much difference you've made just by making small changes.
Absolutely. So kind of that idea of progress over perfection.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's awesome advice.
Yeah, I always tell people, even if you can pick one thing at a time, like if you sort of go into 2022 and say, my goal for the year is to reduce our household waste, just picking one thing a month. Maybe the first month you want to try and stop using like plastic sandwich bags. Then the next month maybe stop take your coffee cups. Just adding one thing a month so that it is attainable and sustainable for your lifestyle.
Absolutely. And I think it would be so cool too if people track their progress, right? So that they can see, over the year or so, or the time that they're on their zero waste journey, how big of a dent they can make with limiting their waste with those small changes.
Awesome. Absolutely. Yeah. We also, a trash audit is a whole other subject, but even looking at your recycling bin and your garbage can for, let's say, a week or two or even a month, and sort of looking at your main sources of waste creation. So that could look different in every household. One house, it could be plastic water bottles, for example. The next, it could be tinfoil. But just looking at the one thing that you create the most and starting there and just seeing that progress is really encouraging.
Absolutely. So now I'm wondering, what items do I need to start refilling at Great Lakes Refill Company?
Yeah, so I think a lot of people think that, if I don't have all of these pretty jars or like matching Tupperware to start refilling, that I can't do it, which is totally just not true at all. Like our pantries at home are not what you see on like an Instagram account per se. We just use like old jars that we have laying around the house. So making sure that you're reusing things that you already have. So if you have a bunch of empty sauce jars at home or jam jars, saving those things to reuse them and repurpose them and bring them into refill is always best. But really, you could walk in the store with nothing in your hand and come in and get all of the things that you need. We have so many different containers in store available for people to use. So you really can come in empty-handed and get everything that you need.
Perfect. It's so refreshing to hear that you don't actually need anything super specific, and you can actually kind of challenge yourself and have some fun with the containers that may have just been thrown in the recycling bin. They can be used so many more times and in turn cut down even more waste. So that's great to hear.
Yeah, we always recommend, like people saving old shampoo bottles, for example, like save those things to bring them in and refill. Mm-hmm. So that's also a good jumping off point. So let's say, you finish your last bit of shampoo, bring that bottle in and we can help you pick the right kind of shampoo for you. And that way you're saving that bottle from ending up in landfill, as well as you don't have to purchase a new container either. So
exactly.
Good tips.
Great. Well, do you have any other tips for the first-time refiller?
Yeah, I guess don't be afraid of making a mess. People always come in and they think, oh my goodness, I'm so clumsy here. I'm going to spill. I'm going to make a mess. But I mean, it happens all the time. I still spill 3.5 years later. So don't let that deter you, like the fear of making a mess or whatever. You'll learn, and after you do it once, it really comes to second nature. Yeah, I guess that's one main point. Just don't worry about that. And also, we are happy to help you. So don't come in feeling like you need to know exactly what you're doing, because most people who come in the first time have no clue what they're doing. Right. And our staff are absolutely amazing, and they're super helpful, and they are always willing to help people through the whole entire process. Even people who have been coming for 2 years, let's say, they're always more than willing to help people fill containers and get them all set up and ready to go. And also, I guess, kind of breaking down the idea that refilling or shopping this way is time consuming. It doesn't have to be. So it may look like it takes more time just because people think they need to prepare. But once you do it once, you'll kind of see that it's just as quick as grabbing a package off the grocery store shelf, for example. Right. Because we're always here to help, and it just takes like a minute to fill the jar and you're on your way.
Awesome. And do you have like most or all of your products on your website for people to look at beforehand?
Yeah, that's actually a good point. If people are ever curious about things that we have, we always recommend going online and just checking that out. Sometimes we try to stay up to date as possible. But yeah, checking our website for sure, just to see what we have. And even before you come, maybe after you've done it a few times, a lot of people will have their containers and actually like write what they want in the jar or the bag or the bottle at home. So it's kind of like a built-in shopping list. So, you have your peanut butter jar, you have your lentil jar, you have your honey jar, all labeled, ready to go. You just grab them in your bag and there you go.
Wow, so that definitely makes the process even easier. Awesome. Sure. And just a couple of things that I think I could think of off the top of my head too is bringing your own bag. This saves any opportunity for any plastic or anything. And I guess ensuring that your containers are clean and dry beforehand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah, those are really helpful.
Oh, sorry, Gilly. I was just going to say, like, going into the grocery store, like, we don't have any produce in our store. So just the tip there when you're shopping in the grocery store and you're grabbing all of your produce and stuff, just bringing reusable produce bags. So that's just another small thing that can make a huge impact. So rather than, use all those single-use flimsy plastic baggies to pack your apples and stuff, you can get reusable bags that you fill just the same and place on the belt. And that cuts down on a lot of plastic waste in the grocery store as well.
Awesome. These are all such helpful tips. Thank you. And it's so true about your staff. Everyone is so friendly and helpful and just excited to help get others started with shopping refill style.
Yeah.
That leads me into my next question. Could you tell us some of the benefits of zero waste shopping?
Yeah, so aside from the obvious, like of course you're cutting down on a ton of packaging. So when you're shopping in bulk, you're totally eliminating every single use package that you would encounter at a regular conventional grocery store. So, your sugars, your flours, your nuts, your cereals, all of that stuff become, packaged in either bags or bags and boxes. So you're totally eliminating that from coming into your household, as well as like your laundry detergent jug, which, are never recycled. Those can just keep coming back to refills. So the packaging waste, also food waste. So shopping this way also allows you to just buy what you need. So let's say you just need a small amount of spice or a little bit of certain nut or seed or whatever. You can just buy that small amount for your recipe or whatever you need. So you're not buying a big bag of it and in turn wasting it, which in the long run is costing you more money because you're wasting said food items. So that's a huge benefit as well. And generally speaking, for most products, saving money when you're buying in bulk. Some things are maybe a little bit more, like our coffee beans, for example, are super high quality, locally roasted. So that is an item that you might see like a little bit higher as you would in a grocery store. But things like your flours and sugar and all your pantry staples, generally speaking, are priced a little bit cheaper than they would be at other stores similar to ours.
Awesome. So you can feel great about what you're doing for the planet. And also, I feel like it is a great opportunity to kind of connect you to that larger community of people who kind of care about supporting local and about the environment as well. So that's another awesome benefit.
Yeah, that's a good point. We kind of feel like our customers are sort of like a big family. And our staff know their names, they know our staff's names, and it's just nice to have that connection with people who are, in the same mindset as you and wanting to do more. And yeah, it's great.
Awesome. Well, I'm sure most of us are eager to see a little tour of your store. Are you able to give us an inside look?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm standing kind of in the middle right now. We cut in over here a little bit to our checkout area. So when you come in the store, we weigh your containers on these scales first and write the weight on them for you. And then you're free to shop. Other checkout counter over along this wall here are all of our food bins. So we've got, anything from nuts and cereals, chocolate chips, oats, cocoa, all your baking supplies, raw nuts, sugars, grains, lentils, in all of these bins here. And then on this side here, we've got coconut oil, almond butter, tahini, and then the other side of this counter is peanut butter. So we've got lots of different natural nut butters and oils. This way, we've got some gluten-free products over here, and more baking stuff, dried fruits, pastas, beans and lentils, dried fruit, rices. Yeah, then we get into some of the snacks, the candy, that's what and this whole island here is our personal care product. So we've got lots of different shampoos and conditioners from different companies. We've got shampoo and conditioner bars, body lotions, face creams, carrier oils, BB shampoo and body wash, hairspray, leave-in conditioner. So lots of different personal care products on here. Yeah, then we move into we've got reusable menstrual products, baby wipes, refillable deodorant, which is super popular. We carry the Routine line, which is phenomenal as a natural deodorant. And then we've got a big section here of local products. So we've got a lot of things from Come Clean here in Sarnia. Like dry shampoo, toners, facial masks, base cream, base oil, and then bar soaps from the Girl Soap Co. Bath bombs from Wonder Mama Body Care. So all local vendors. And then we've got a section of oral care products. So refillable toothpaste, toothpaste tablets, bamboo toothbrushes, and then zero waste shaving products. So like shampoo bars, razors, safety razors. And then on this wall is our household products. So you can see above we've got a bunch of empty bottles. So those are the bottles that I'm talking about that you can purchase the first time if you don't have anything to start off with. So it's like a pre-labeled bottle, and you can pick your product to fill. So we've got like hand soap, shampoo, conditioner, dish soaps, laundry detergent, bunch of different cleaning powders. So if you're into making your own cleaning products.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and then household cleaners, ranging from toilet cleaner to kitchen cleaner, bathroom cleaner, cleaning vinegar. We've got dishwasher tabs that are loose and involved, and laundry strips. Those have also been super popular. People like the convenience of those. It's just a strip that you toss into your laundry to deal with the liquid product. Stain removers, dryer balls, and then in the middle here we also have some more bulk food products.
Oh, wow.
And some packaged canned foods as well. And over here is one of my favorite sections, our spice section. So we've got a wide range of spices. And as I kind of mentioned before, they're super nice because instead of having to buy like a giant package of something that you may only need like a teaspoon of, this is a really excellent way to do that, and then to preserve the freshness of the spices as well. Over here we've got different refillable olive oils, avocado oil, so different oils and vinegars on refill as well. And we've got a freezer section, so we've got like frozen fruit, some Beyond Meat products, mimosas, those are one of our customer favorites. And then some refrigerated items like ketchup, mustard, those condiments like kimchi and hummus. We get hummus weekly from Personal Touch, which is phenomenal. And then over here we've got a tea section. So tea lovers, we've got a bunch of different loose leaf teas as well as some bag teas that are really compostable. Kombucha on tap. So we always have two different flavors of kombucha on tap from Kombucha Hound here in Virginia.
Love it.
This section over here is just kind of all of our sustainable items. So reusable items to replace disposable. So we've got like reusable baggies and beeswax wrap to replace the plastic wrap. And like bar dish soap, and sponge cloth, and other plastic towels to replace like paper towels.
That's so cool. Well, it looks like you've definitely thought of everything. This is so exciting to see such a large variety and so many options for us to choose from. This is great.
Yeah, we like to try and, kind of have a solution for everything. So if there's something you can think of that's disposable, we'd like to think that we try and find the reusable alternative to that. And if we don't, then generally we try and look for it for people.
Absolutely. So I see you're kind of in the zero waste swap section. So if I were trying to eliminate a few waste items from, say, my kitchen or my bathroom, do you supply some of these that you would like to show us? Maybe your top zero waste swap items?
Yeah, for sure. So I guess one of the biggest things for me and the mom of particularly boys are sponge cloths. So we've got a whole bunch of different kinds of these from different companies, but essentially their purpose is to replace paper towels. So they're super absorbent, they can go in the washing machine. We stopped using paper towels years ago. I strictly just use those, as well as some paper towels, which are really nice. So that eliminates the use of these paper towels. Things that I use to cover up my food, so we no longer use like plastic wrap or wax wrap or tinfoil or any of those items. So I do use these wax wraps a lot. Eventually, it's just a cloth wrapped or covered in wax.
Mhm.
And yeah, with the heat of your hand, they mold around bowls, plates, and stuff. So those are great for covering food, as well as silicone foil covers for you to go with the pot, to cover up like leftovers and things. And all of our reusable bags. So we just have a huge drawer filled with like silicone reusable bags and reusable bags, which takes out the need for plastic bags. And probably a silicone baking mat. So if you are a baker at all or things in the oven, putting those on a good heat. It's non-stick, so you don't need to use tin foil or parchment paper.
That's amazing. And it's so cool to see how just switching out one item can save so much waste and really make things more simple in the long run. And so, yeah, we're so glad to see that you supply these items. I know for myself, I think my very first zero waste item was a safety razor. And I can only imagine how much waste and money I've saved over the past few years just by swapping out that one item. So it's really cool to see that you have such a variety here.
Yeah, for sure. And coffee. Coffee is one thing that, so we don't generally go out and buy coffee, but a reusable coffee filter. So if you brew your own coffee at home, these are amazing. So they're just a cotton filter that you can rinse and reuse over and over again. So that's something that we use every day.
Awesome.
And so bathroom, you said. I guess we can head back to the bathroom section. Name Kaylee, I think one of the first things that I switched out was a safety razor. So rather than buying like disposable razors or cartridges all the time, we do have safety razors, which some people might be familiar with, some people might be scared of. A lot of people have mixed feelings about them, but I always just say give it a go for a little while and you'll for sure end up loving it. But yeah, they're just made of like a stainless steel and the blade comes packaged like that. And then there's a single blade that you can pop in and we can take the blades back for recycling as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then the other bathroom stuff I probably use most frequently are like the refillable toothpaste and refillable floss. So these little pots. They're little glass pots and little pots. And they have a floss spool in them that you can just refill that over and over again. So that's a nice replacement for single-use dental containers. And then all of my skincare products, that are all refillable and local.
That's amazing. Thanks for showing us all of those items. So I guess the last thing before we get into our Q&A period is we're wondering maybe if you can walk us through the steps on how to shop refill style.
Yeah, so I think I'll show you just sort of how the bins work. Because a lot of people do seem semi-intimidated by these guys. They're sort of new to people. So these are gravity bins. So if you come in totally empty-handed, this section here is all pre-loved jars, as we like to call them. So we take donations. People, rather than fill their recycling bin, can bring us their clean jars, and we'll sterilize them through our sterilizer, and then we put them out here for people to use. So yeah, you come in empty-handed. Basically, you can just grab any container that you want. So if you want a coffee, for example, grab your jar. And then these ones already have the weights written on them because we have them here ready for people to grab. So you can kind of skip that step, which is kind of nice if you're in a hurry. You can funnel and hanging and placed throughout the store. So all of these are single use. So you can wash them, which means pieces. So basically the funnel is to reduce spills, which are going to happen, and also to create a barrier between a container and a bin. So it's especially important if you're bringing your own clean containers to refill that you have the funnel in between just so there's no touching of the bin to your personal container. Yeah, and then these, basically you just put your funnel underneath, pull the handle, and grab as much as you'd like.
Just as easy as that.
2 seconds, and then yeah, we've got carts up front that you can load up with all of your jars and containers, and then bring it all up to the front, and we reweigh them and take off the weight of the jar, so that obviously you're not.
Amazing. Well, thank you for showing us how simple that can be. I think even yourself as a busy mom, you can still make time to get your zero waste shopping in. So that's awesome to see.
Yeah, it is much simpler than people think.
Yes.
You've got everything here that you need, and yeah, it doesn't take much time at all.
Absolutely. All right, well, I guess that brings us into our question and answer period here. So if anybody has a question for Melissa, feel free to write them in the chat, and yeah, we can try to help answer anything that you're wondering about.
Try and answer as best I can.
I guess while we're waiting for a question, I was wondering, do you have any type of rewards program for your customers right now?
Yeah, actually, so we do have a loyalty rewards program. So customers can sign up when they come in store, and they earn points for every dollar that they spend. And when they get to the first redemption level, they can either, like take $5 off your groceries, or you can choose to donate that and then plant a tree in Sarnia. So we take those donations and give them to Climate Action Sarnia, who is working on a reforestation project in Sarnia Lambton.
Wow, that's a really cool initiative.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's check the chat here. I guess I have another question. In your own experience, what is one household waste item that you never imagined yourself being able to cut down in the past? And like, what's the refill alternative that's made that swap successful for you?
Gosh, there's so many things.
It's probably hard to pick.
It's really, like, honestly, when I think back to the way we lived, let's say 4 or 5 years ago, it's really astonishing to think about how much garbage we put out every single week to what we put out now. Mm-hmm. Yes, we do still create garbage. We've got 2 little children, but it's a minuscule amount in comparison to what we used to create. I guess I would maybe say like shampoo bottles. Mm-hmm. So pushing out for shampoo bars, and also reusable Q-tips is something. Reusable Q-tips and makeup brown.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. And I was also wondering, are there any like food items or recipes that come to mind that can be made like almost entirely from shopping refill style?
Oh yeah, we've got lots of, if you go to our website, on our recipe blog, we've got lots of recipes on there that most of the recipes can be made just from shopping in store. But yeah, we've got, we do have things like even like pre-made soup mix. So we make our own in-house coconut curry soup mix, which has been super popular. So it's just a jar of that and a can of coconut milk, and it makes a phenomenal soup. In like 15 minutes of simmering on the stove with 2 quick steps. But there's so many recipes, that can be made entirely from shopping within the store.
That's so cool. And even like beyond just the recipes for eating, you can also, I'm sure, make a lot of do-it-yourself like body scrubs and personal care products, and get pretty creative with that by using bulk refill items. So that's awesome.
For sure. And we do have things that can be made like pretty simply, like the samosas that I mentioned before. Those are just, you pop them in the oven for 20 minutes or 30 minutes, and they're ready to eat. We've got lots of snacks. People always seem to want more snacks. Snacks and candies are popular. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm just going to say a little quote here, just in case people are still thinking of their questions. I really like this one. It kind of stood out to me because when I first kind of started a zero waste journey, I was like, oh, like, I don't know how to do it perfectly. Like, I don't have all the fancy stuff that you see like on Instagram and everything. But this quote has always kind of stuck out to me. So I thought I'd share it with everybody. It says, "We don't need a handful of people doing zero waste perfectly. We need millions of people doing it imperfectly." So that's a quote by Anne-Marie Bonneau. She's a zero waste chef. So yeah, this is my real inspiration.
That's sort of the quote that we go by in here and point that at people all the time. We've got it mounted on the front wall, actually, because we really resonate with that one for sure.
Yeah. And then I just have some information for our viewers here. I have your website up, www.greatlakesrefillcompany.ca, and you are also on Facebook and Instagram. So I put your social media here for everyone to give a follow. It's at Great Lakes Refill Company. And yeah, your storefront, you're downtown Christina Street, 454. So nice to have that local option. And I just have your hours here as well, in case anyone was wondering. Tuesday to Friday, 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then you're closed on Sundays and Mondays.
Yeah. So we're nestled in the Keelan Plaza. We're in between Trendsetters and then the main parking lot. And yeah, there's lots of parking around for people, which is nice as well. And also, I just want to say, I mean, if you're tuning in from anywhere other than Sarnia-Lambton area, that there's lots of different refill stores around in different cities. So make sure you just do a quick little search there, and I'm sure you can find some places in your area.
Amazing. We do have a question here from Shelly. They say, "I have sensitive skin and I was curious about the laundry soap."
Yeah, so our Pure line, the laundry soap is excellent for people who have super sensitive skin. Great for babies, and people have had like a lot of success with it. Yeah, I highly recommend the unscented version, but any of the Pure laundry detergents, many people have had lots of success with that for sensitive skin.
That's awesome. Thanks for that question, Shelly. So I guess if anyone has any more, this is a recording, so you can always put some questions down in the comments as you think of them, and we can try our best to answer them in a later date. And I do just want to mention that we have our giveaway. So this is a $25 gift certificate for your local refill store. And yeah, I'll put the link in the chat here. It's ecotomy.ca/win. So you can put in your email and have a chance to get a 7-day free trial for the Ecotomy as well. They're the newest online environmental education platform for your family. So definitely check that out afterwards. And we will notify our lucky winner by email in a couple of weeks. And obviously, as we can see, that Great Lakes Refill Company is here for you on your journey to reduce waste. And as we can see, it makes shopping more sustainably easy. So even though it may seem daunting at first, a few simple changes can definitely make a huge impact. So yeah, that's so awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today, Melissa. Is there anything else that you wanted to add or say before we wrap up?
No, thanks for having me. I'm happy to kind of show a tour of the store. And I guess just there's a lot of people that always come in and say, "I wish I came in sooner. I was just too intimidated." Just, take that step and do it, because you won't regret it.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. And yeah, we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, bye everybody.